I'm going to get a drink. I'll be right back.
That was the first words of our hangout, Linda. Hello, everyone. We are now live, the January 30th, 2015 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Linda's gone to get a drink.
She's gonna bring back a bottle of tequila.
I think we still have people trying to get in. Again, if some people are watching, they should be able to go to the event page on Google+. I have a link there. You should be able to click that, and it should be able to bring you into the Hangout. And Dwayne, you are in on your phone today. Looks good, looks clear. Sound is good, which usually is not always the case.
Yeah, the echo on the phones are pretty bad, I'm noticing.
Dwayne's doing well here.
But today it's not. It's pretty good.
So we've got phone good, but notifications are tanking again today. And
the lower thirds aren't working like they should either. At least on my end, anyway.
I think it's personal. It's per your profile, and I'm not sure what the criteria are or why it does or does not work. But
yeah, it works one time, and then
another time it doesn't.
And then another time it doesn't. And I don't know if it's how I get into the Hangout, or if it's, you know, because sometimes it'll open it as like a tab on Chrome, but then on other times it doesn't open it as a tab.
So you coming in by phone each time?
No, this is going, like, I'm on my, on Google Chrome, my homepage, and
so are you on your computer, or are you on a tablet, or are you?
No, just a regular desktop.
Every time. Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it comes through when you're on your tablet or on your
Well, I think it's different for different people for different devices.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dennis, you are asking about the product Intuit Self-Employed.
I just said that I was responding to James' post that if it doesn't export the income to the Schedule C, it's kind of hard to see, you know.
Yeah, I'm finding it hard to find the benefit of it too. To me, it just leads to all kinds of problems. If you're going to run a business, time to put your big boy girl panties or big girl panties on and run a business and not play around.
Well, the thing is that, from my perspective, like with Intuit, the relationship with Intuit, is a lot of people get kind of torqued out when Intuit makes all these changes that sort of devalues their experience, or like on QuickBooks Desktop when they're going online, it kind of sort of weakens or dilutes the experience because you're having a smaller new group of clients to compete for, and big companies will do what they need to do, and if it's in their best interest to diminish your business, they'll do it. I mean,
yeah, but I had another experience this week. I mean, you're right. Intuit does say anybody can run a business with their finger on Intuit online. Well, I just had someone that believed that information, called me up and said, I'm using QuickBooks Online, and I just don't understand. My income is way overstated. Well, overstated wasn't the word he said. It looks like I made more income than I really did. And I just figured, it's the same old story where you add the invoice, receive the payment, and then at the same time record the deposits from the downloads that come from the bank feeds. No, in this particular case, that was not it. It was the guy truly does not understand bookkeeping at all, not even a little bit. He's technology challenged. He had just got a Windows Surface computer, learning how to use it, not able to really use it fully because he doesn't understand how to get around. But he got QuickBooks Online, opened the program up. He was able to make the invoices work. You push the plus button, you see invoices, you make the invoices work. You can receive payments. Where he went wrong was he made no changes to the chart of accounts when he opened the company. He added no bank accounts. So all he had was the default cash on hand account that things were going to. When he entered expenses, he had no idea what to do, how to do it. He looked at QuickBooks Online, saw that plus button, and it said expenses. Yeah, that's what I want to do, enter expenses. He did not enter anything by date. He had a stack of receipts that he put in the day that he opened the QuickBooks Online up, which was in January of this year. So he had no reports that made sense whatsoever. None. There was not a whole lot of information in there, and he had told me, I want to make my books make sense for 2014. Well, okay. We're going to start with bank accounts, and I'm going to add a bank account for you, and I'm going to show you how it works. And, you know, I'd done my free 1-hour consult that ended up being about 2 hours. Well, you know how that goes. Yeah. And like I said, I added his bank account for him for free, and he was like really excited and looking forward to starting with QuickBooks. Set an appointment for the following week, and then the following week I go in and confirm the date. He gets on the phone and calls me right away. He says, you know what, I'm going to cancel our appointment. I just don't understand QuickBooks. It's not making sense for me. I'm going back to my Excel sheets.
Well, you know, if you watch the Intuit ads, you wouldn't even know that you have to know accounting to use it. I mean,
well, that was what the problem was. He didn't know anything from anything. He knew what he did. He knew what he did to make money, but he did not know anything about accounting. He opened the program, pushed the plus button. One said invoices and one said expenses. What do you mean you have to put the expenses in individually, the date that they incurred? That doesn't make sense. We still have more people coming in. Dwayne's back again, and I think Joanne's trying to join. Although there she is.
Hi.
There she is.
I'm on the road, but I'm with a fellow bookkeeper coming back from a big job. So I said, "Oh, it's the hangout. Let me show you the
There
hangout."
you go.
Awesome. Hi, fellow bookkeeper.
So her name's Deb. So say hi to Deb.
Hi, Deb.
Hi.
do you have much snow on the roads?
No, not right now. Actually, where I'm coming back from, it's not.
Hmm.
So are you guys getting the snowstorm on Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday?
I think so.
Oh my goodness.
Where are you?
Right now, well, I live in upstate New York.
A city.
Syracuse?
That's fine. I lived in Syracuse for a year in 1966, so.
That was the year I was born, Linda.
I know. We talked about this before. That was the blackout. July was the big blackout.
I'm a blizzard baby.
That's it. Yeah. That's right.
Okay, so we have James that just joined.
Oh, he doesn't have a webcam, so that's good. Hi, James.
We got you on, James. Welcome.
Two Jameses, right? They're right next to each other.
Okay.
How do you stop getting the notifications and the dings? Is there a way to stop them?
During the hangout or
Yeah, like, cause I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I just need to close. If I close this, it'll probably close. No, good. I'm
No,
good.
you can close the notifications.
Yes.
Click on the little box, and it'll open up, and it's a check mark for notifications.
Mm,
Got it.
See it?
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. Because I
What
had
are we
it
talking
on
about?
my phone and on the computer, and I'm like, the noise.
Google notifications, Joanne.
What's that?
Google notification.
Oh, I thought we were talking about like accounting stuff in this hangout.
What's that, Joanne? What's that accounting stuff you're talking about?
Yeah, we were talking about how easy QBO is to use. Anyone can run their business with just their finger.
That is true.
So has anybody else had any interesting experiences this week?
Oh,
Well, I'm on this, sort of getting involved in this other audit. It's a labor and industry audit. In the state of Washington, we don't have a state income tax. And so they make, the state collects either sales tax or B&O taxes. And then there's like L&I tax, which is labor and industry. And this one client of mine, this happened before he was my client, but he was like a landscaper, or he works in that business, and he'd hired some subcontractors, and they were wearing his hats and shirts, and so there was a state inspector out and, pulled them over and asked for their, see their business licenses or whatever, and so now he's getting this big fine because they're claiming he's been treating them as contractors. In the state of Washington, they have a thing called covered employees for L&I, and there's like about 7 criteria, and you have to meet every one. And so it's kind of like they don't really tell you, but you're exposed. And so it was we hired this one guy that's an expert on it. He used to work for L&I and all the things that you can be liable for. And, one thing I find with my clients is that people seem to think the IRS and the state of Washington are the same entity.
yeah.
Well, the other thing that's going to happen, though, once the state and the L&I department starts fining this guy, then the federal will too.
Well, that's my concern. Not only that, I looked at the criteria for a definition of a contractor for employment security, and it's almost identical to L&I. So that's kind of the other shoe that I'm waiting to have dropped.
Yeah, once the state's done with it, you can expect the federal to happen too, and you can
Well, I know they share I know the state of Washington and the feds share data, and I gotta believe there must be some sort of report where they're changing classifications on people, and then I would think logic would go to the IRS and they would start matching their records. And I had this one. I don't know if I told you, I had this one client that they had hired. It was a travel agency that worked out of their home, and they hired their next door neighbor's high school daughter as an admin, and they gave her a 1099 as opposed to a W-2, and her mother got so honked off that she went and complained to the IRS.
Oh my goodness, what a nice friend.
And the IRS came out and audited them and deemed that girl to be an employee, and so they owed penalties and taxes on that, and just coincidentally about 6 months later they had an employment security audit.
Was it coincidental?
Yeah, what a surprise, what a coincidence.
Did the daughter lose her job?
Probably.
I can't imagine that she was working a 40-hour week. I mean, that kind of situation, it was only part-time, I'm thinking.
Well, I think they paid her more than $600. I think that was the issue.
Okay. And the mom had expected taxes to be taken out of it, and they weren't. And
It wasn't too crazy about her daughter having to pay taxes, So she got really pissed off and contacted the IRS. So it goes to show you got to be careful.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Last year I had a friend that did, totally, absolutely did not understand the difference between W-2 and 1099. They had been a W-2 employee for years upon years upon years, and and her job was she wasn't fired, but the job they just took it away. It wasn't there anymore, so she was on unemployment for a while.
Mhm.
So then she went and worked for someone that considered her a contractor, and then that job ended. The work was over, and she went back to the unemployment office, and they said, well, you can't get unemployment. You were a 1099 subcontractor. And she said, no, I wasn't. And she said, what is the difference? And the unemployment office said, well, did you do X, 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 and X? And she said, well, yes. And the unemployment office said, well, you should have been an employee, and went after that lady's business, and she lost the business because
that's how they find it, because people get terminated and they go try to collect unemployment, and they say, well, and they find out that they are not an employee, and then they say, well, I was, like, for example, one of the 7 criteria for L&I is that they have to have a place of business, or they have to file a Schedule C that uses a home office deduction. And if you don't qualify for a home office deduction because you don't have a place that's used exclusively for business, in your apartment or home, then they'll deem you to be an employee. And so, I mean, the way you have to kind of cover yourself is that you have to ask these contractors for copies of their of their 1040s, make sure that they're claiming the home office deduction.
Oh boy, all these notifications are coming in all of a sudden. I'm hearing everybody else, my phone, my computer.
Well, Gina, it's because James joined us, but he's not in the chat window. He's somewhere in the notifications window, and he has a question he wants to ask.
Okay, go ahead.
So just speak up, James. Do you have a microphone on your computer? No. Oh, well, guess what? You can't talk then.
Send your
You can talk,
James,
but we can't hear you.
just send your text message with a question.
Yeah.
Let's tell them how to open the chat. Okay, at the top left corner, there is a blue box with white lines in it. Click on that, right? Blue box with white lines.
Is he on his computer, or is he
Yes,
on?
he's the one that's typing through the
He's there now.
notifications.
Okay, we see you typing.
Okay. Let's see. Did he go over to the chat box?
Yes, he's in chat now, so we'll wait for his question.
Okay, now we'll have a question. Testing, that's perfect. All right, QuickBooks Enterprise 2013. I assume he has sound on his computer, so he can hear us. Yeah, I know he can hear us.
Okay, he's saying yes.
Yes. So what's your question about Enterprise 2013? Look at James Klein. Oh. No, they shouldn't show. I wonder if it's his PDF part. Sending a PO or invoice by email, they show up blank.
He's going to have to check his drivers.
When you say drivers,
Printer drivers on the computer.
He's using the Mac, he said.
oh, that's right, he is using a Mac.
Mac has Enterprise? Must be using.
Oh, and he couldn't get this fixed today.
Wow.
Okay. James, does QuickBooks Enterprise, when you make that invoice and you go to send it with Enterprise, I usually send it with Premiere, does it create its own PDF file?
Okay. That's what I thought. No enterprise for Mac must be using Parallels. I agree, James. That sounds right.
Right. That's right.
And I think it sounds like a driver problem. I've had enterprise problems like this before,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what it ended up being, was a driver problem. And there is in support, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of where I saw this, where you can get the driver repair tool. Maybe even on our community. I'll see if I can find it. I'll look and see.
And our community is QuickBooks Zero Sage.
Yeah, I'll put a link to it in the chat so he can get it.
Okay.
And then I have on the left-hand side tools for QuickBooks, and I think I might have put it in there, and it might have been an article by Charlie Russell.
Ah, Charlie's good.
He's the best. He is the best.
So the driver is, what kind of a driver is it?
Printer and PDF driver. This is Dwayne. Dwayne, your phone. Okay.
Better?
Better, but you're echoing now.
Oh, that's better yet, Dwayne. I like that picture, but you've lost a lot of weight.
Okay, hold on, wait a minute. Let's see, how do I get out of this?
Nice shot on the top of your head.
Uh-oh. Dennis, you help him because you're the one always on the phone having this problem.
You turn the phone off.
Uh-oh. I'm going to mute you there for a little bit, Dwayne.
There you go. That's good. Printer driver is right.
Okay. I'm going to go back and look in my tools and see.
But if you're sending it, I guess in my mind, there's two ways to send an email. And one is you send it with QuickBooks system. And then the other thing you could do is, which is what I do because they had so much trouble with their PDF driver. You know that PDF thing that they had built in? It didn't, half the time it wouldn't work and it would get corrupted. So I downloaded a program called PDF 995, and it's like a PDF printer. And I just, when I print my invoices, I print them, and then I go to my regular email program and send them through my regular email program, and I attach the PDF.
Okay, so I have.
But that's not as fast.
Yeah, no, I have a copy of the Sleater blog that has that tool in it. So,
Okay.
second. First thing I put in there is to our community, and this actually gives a bunch of tools, but one of the tools in this blog is the PDF repair tool. So you may need to run that. See if that helps you. I'm still getting a lot of bings and bangs on my.
Well, Brendan just tried to get in, and he said, full hangout, nice.
Hi, Brandon, we love you. He's probably driving in on his phone, too.
Could be, could be.
But it doesn't show it's full.
Yeah, we only have 9 people here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're right.
Oh,
no.
wait,
Voice
James
here.
is 10.
Pardon?
If James is on, then it's 10, right?
With James, it's
Oh,
not.
it is with him, huh?
Yeah. But Joanne was here. I think we.
Oh, well, maybe Brandon's here, but he's the 10th one. It says it's all good. Tell everyone Brandon says hi.
Hey, Brandon.
So.
Have you guys looked at the report, the management reports on QBO?
I have. Have you? Do you like them?
I saw, like, briefly just what it was. I hadn't looked at it in detail. I guess I looked at the company overview. So I guess it's just like your most used reports, it looks like, probably.
To me, it looks like when I was working at a CPA firm, we used to give what were called financials. And it had a cover letter, it had notes, it had all of that kind of stuff, and that's what this looks like. It kind of scares me a little bit because financials need to be handled by accountants and CPAs.
Yeah, I don't even do those. I mean, you have to, in the state of Washington, you have to be involved in peer reviews and all this stuff, and it's just
There are so many obligations, right, for a regular user to do it.
Yeah,
All I'm doing, I mean, I'm just viewing it. It's not doing anything.
Well, it scares me even more when it does it automatically.
Yeah.
You know, because they look all official and all of that kind of stuff. But garbage is garbage, no matter what kind of package you put it in.
Yeah, I would not put my name on it, you know.
Until you talk to an accountant and an accountant has looked at it or somebody has reviewed it with you that knows what they're looking at.
They're never right anyway.
Pardon?
They're never right. They always seem to be missing something.
Right. Right.
The problem is a lot of business owners don't really know when their financials are trash. You know.
We just had something on ABO about somebody purchasing $100,000 worth of inventory and ending up with $125,000 worth of inventory and selling $400,000. And where did that inventory come from?
What I'm having a problem with, and I've been having a problem, is on my balance sheet.
Okay.
It shows up bank accounts that it shows in parentheses are deleted, and they have zero balances. Why are they showing up here if they've been so-called deleted?
That's the lovely QBO because it really isn't deleted. At one point, it must have been an active bank account.
Yes.
So if you're doing like a 2-year comparative, and 1 year had information and 1 year did not.
Yeah, the sad thing is these are bank accounts from many, many, many years ago, or loans that are been, closed and paid off.
Right.
They're zero. Mind you, they're all zero balances, but they will not go away from this. My balance sheet right now, I know it's only January, it's 5 pages long.
Oh.
And it annoys me because I print every Friday. I print my husband reports, our profit and loss, what's owed, what's due, blah blah blah.
Oh, Rhonda, I wish I could have all my clients do that.
Oh, that's not standard?
No, sadly, they try to avoid looking at those things.
Oh no! I mean, this is what runs my company. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I try not to be in the dark about these. I like to actually know if I have any money, so I could go on vacation. But yeah, I've seriously tried to get rid of these balances, and I mean, as far as obviously telling, I've even tried to delete them. They still do not show up. They drive me nuts. So what I end up doing is I only the reason my husband uses the balance sheet is just to mainly see what is in that bank account. So those totals that are in all of our accounts. So I only end up putting, I only print 1 page.
Look at the link that I just put in chat. This is one of Seth's School of Bookkeeping videos.
Okay.
That he put out. How do I get rid of no balance accounts on my reports in QuickBooks Online?
Okay, I'll check it out later. Yeah, because this is like the most annoying thing ever.
I would imagine you would go into customization, but I haven't done it, so
I'll look into it later and see if I can get that to work.
Awesome.
I've always had issues like customizing reports within QuickBooks, even on my desktop version. What I'm always looking for is job cost, and what I mean by job cost is if I write a check out to somebody, to a vendor, and in the customer field I put their name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for a report to find out all the expenses that I have written on this job.
Mm-hmm.
and it never seems to amaze me. I cannot locate a proper report or create a proper report. I had one that was close to it.
Well, there's job profitability. There's profitability by job.
In the QuickBooks Online, Linda?
Oh no, I'm talking about desktop.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, they don't.
The reports are not the same.
By the way, Rhonda, I just read the link that Gina put in, and you do go into customize reports, and you do say show only active accounts.
Okay, I'll check it out.
And that will take away all of the inactive accounts.
Oh, that'll be sweet.
So check that link that Gina, and it's like the second paragraph down. It says that.
Yeah, because when QuickBooks Online came out, the biggest question or issue that everybody did was if they wanted to remove an account or a vendor or a customer and you hit delete, everybody wanted to know, is it going to go away permanently?
And it does not.
It does not. And
Ever.
for me, I mean, I guess in a way that's good and bad, you know, because, again, I'm an out of sight, out of mind. If I don't have to see it, I don't want to see it. So it's good that you can revert them easily.
Right, if you ever decide you want to, yeah, but even a bank account, once it's closed out, it's closed out. Even if you go back to that same bank, you want to start a new bank account.
Yeah, James, I'm on the online version, so I don't get contractor version. They don't have a contractor version for online, right?
No,
I mean,
not like they have the Premier versions. No.
Right. I gave up desktop a long time ago.
Got it.
You know, honestly, I think you could go back to desktop and use QBox, and that would work for you. But at this point,
Oh no, the reason I can't go backwards is because my mom does our daily entry of items, and she can't be in at the same time without having, if she's not in the office, or if we don't have a server or anything, and we don't. I got rid of all of my servers and everything because that was so much of a hassle and so much of a monthly expense to have to deal with.
nice.
So I just use QuickBooks Online, and she can access as her own user whenever she wants to. And I have a total history of everything that she does.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm a firm believer in QuickBooks Online. I love it. I know you guys, some of you don't like it, but for my version, for my end user part of it, I'm cool with it.
Did you just see that James, our visitor James, says Enterprise is going to be online in March?
Is that an online subscription, or is that a
Heard that.
QuickBooks?
Oh, it's already hosted, isn't it? Oh, that's a good question. Oh, if they put Enterprise online, that's going to be...
Yeah, is it hosted, or is it QuickBooks QB?
Oh my God, online like QuickBooks Online.
There's no way. I mean, QBO can't do inventory in
Oh,
Enterprise.
be
There is
careful.
no way that that will ever happen.
Yeah, that's not going to happen for a while. Till they get the inventory and job costing thing figured out.
Right, that's absolutely true.
Wow.
Most of my enterprise.
Well, that's why I can't find the report. Because QuickBooks Online doesn't do job costing. There's a workaround for that.
Right, and I believe you use classes to do that.
I don't
That's
I
right.
don't
There's
do it
two
that
kinds
way.
of classes.
Yeah.
Don't they have like an add-in too that you can use to do some of the functionality?
Is that an app?
I think so. I mean,
I haven't seen it.
I'm not sure if it's construction job. Well, I'm not really sure. It's like
It doesn't even, I mean, at this point, it doesn't have to be specifically, it just has, mine has to be customer.
James, I think Rhonda wants to do the job costing on QuickBooks Online. And you're saying CoreCon can integrate with QBO? Yes. Okay, so that must be a job costing. That must be what you were talking about, Dennis?
I know I've seen apps that supposedly integrate with QBO that will do some sort of job costing and also some sort of inventory, but I'm not sure how robust it is. I would presume it's not as
Oh, awesome. Another program I get to do. And another monthly fee. Awesome.
Right.
That's the problem with the subscription is that $20 here, $30 there, and before you know, you're spending $150 a month on software.
Right. And I think that's a problem that everybody's having at this
And
point.
it's hard to get everything in one anyways.
I was reading this one book. I think it was on using Xero to do your accounting business, and the point they were making is that these online accounting systems are just kind of bare bone, and now rather than trying to build all the functionality into it like they did with the desktop, QuickBooks Desktop, all these different features, they're kind of relying on apps to do that.
Right. Well, that's the whole point. The QBO is supposed to have its own universe, or whatever you want to call it, the QBO-verse.
Well, when you
all these apps that work with them. And
when you think about it, it's much easier for Intuit to maintain, because they don't have to worry about all these extra programs if they do something that might unhook something in their current program. If they get all these different features in the software, you never know what's going to happen when you start making changes, how it might impact some of the existing features.
absolutely. And QuickBooks Enterprise Solutions currently scares me because of all of the corruptions that's been happening.
Oh, right.
I've been hearing so much about corrupted databases in Enterprise that it is very scary to
Are
me.
these like on wireless networks, or are they on wired networks?
Wired networks, hardwired networks, with servers and workstation kind of things.
Huh.
Yeah. So usually when people come and say, my balance sheet doesn't balance, well, let's do a verify and see what happens. Oh, yeah, you got corruption. And the corruption can do a lot of the things seem to be the applications working with Enterprise Solutions and working with the list. I'll see the corruption with the vendor list. I'll see the corruption with the customer list. Once I even saw it in payroll, which was a really horrible situation, because if you can't do payroll in QuickBooks, you can't pay your people.
That's right.
Sorry, I have to cut out, guys. I just realized it's almost 3:30. I have a chiropractor appointment. Have a good weekend.
You do
Bye,
the same.
Rhonda.
Bye, Rhonda.
Bye.
I would suspect probably part of the corruption is, with all these add-ins, they got to link to the tables, with the different keys, and I suspect that somehow the keys are probably getting corrupted. I think Doug Sleater had a problem where they had something where all of the links got unhooked.
Oh yeah, that was one of his problems. Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of what you relied on, is that they didn't know where the children didn't know where their parents were. It's like.
And James says, please don't get me started on payroll. Oh, I wish you could talk, James, and let us know.
Yeah, you're going to need to get a microphone and a webcam or something.
You get a webcam that's got a mic built in like I do.
Oh, he could also call in on his cell phone if he wanted to.
That's true.
That's true, because his cell phone has a microphone and a webcam.
Yeah, but if you're doing the Hangout on the phone, I guess you could do it with speaker phone on your phone.
So
I'm hanging out on my phone.
there you go. Brandon's on his phone.
You're not driving today, are you?
I'm always driving. Yes, I'm driving. I just left my tax appointment.
Looks like he's driving.
Always
Yes,
on the road.
I just met with my CPA. I got my corporate and my personal, and everything is done.
All right. Way to go.
Congratulations, Brandon. Congratulations.
What's that?
I said,
Oh, thanks.
good for you.
Yeah. It's,
Absolutely. We must be rubbing off on you.
Yeah, I'm going to make an appointment for next week with my EA, so.
Great. Great.
Yeah, people will be getting their W-2s pretty soon. I'm expecting my 1040 clients to be contacting me in the next week or so. I'm working on corporate returns and amended returns right now.
Right.
Well, I'm working with many of my clients and reviewing the year-end reports so they can go see their accountant, their CPA, or their EA, whichever they have. I have a longtime client that I've been doing his books for years and years, and at first, when we first started doing it, I would talk to him once a month, and we would go over the reports, and, you know, after a couple of years of doing the same thing, we started talking less and less and less. So I made a point this year of scheduling an appointment with him and saying, look, I really want to go over these numbers, and I was really super glad that I did, and he even said to me, you know what, usually at the end of the year I'm all stressed out, and when I have to take this to my accountant, you know, it's a horrible meeting for me. I hate this. But you know what? We had a very pleasant meeting. I understand so much better what's going on with my business. I think my meeting with my accountant is going to go a lot better this year. So I'm making a point to talk to every one of my clients that I actually do the bookkeeping for and review those reports, the year-end reports, particularly the balance sheet, and making sure everything is correct on that. Especially the accounts receivable and accounts payable. I want them current. I've been working hard on getting those current throughout the year, but I want to make sure that there's like no old accounts receivable that need to be written off, that the accounts payable is clean, that there's no little 50 cents here and minus 25 cents there. Get all of those little adjustments fixed and off the balance sheet.
Well, I would say this year with Obamacare that you probably want to get in sooner rather than later to see your accountant, because this ACA thing is kind of an unknown as to how much time it's going to take, especially if you're getting your insurance through the exchange and you have to, you know, with the 1095As and all that stuff. It's kind of an unknown.
Let's talk about a 1095A. What exactly is a 1095A, Dennis?
Okay, a 1095A you're going to need for if you got insurance through the exchange. I mean, it's one way of proving you have. You have to. There's a checkbox this year that says, "Did you have insurance?" And you know, if you have on your W-2, if it shows you had insurance, and that's, you know, there's no really formal due diligence requirements this year, my understanding, but common sense is if, for example, if you get Medicare or Medicaid, you're probably okay. If you're getting company-paid insurance, you know, which will show you that you've gotten on your W-2, that'll be okay. But if you are self-employed and you didn't get it through your employer, then if you got it through the exchange, your state exchange, they're required to give what's known as a 1095A, which will have how much you paid for insurance each month. And it's important because if you went through the exchange, then you could be eligible for a premium tax credit. And so that's another worksheet that, you know, it's like not everybody's going to have to do it, but for those that do, it could be rather laborious. And then there's people that don't have insurance that could be subject to the penalty, which the IRS can't enforce, but they can take it out of your refund. And so what's going to be an issue this tax year 2015 is that companies that have more than 50 employees, they're going to have to provide a 1095-C, and they're going to have to set up systems to accumulate all this information. Now, a lot of companies are outsourcing it to these bigger providers, but it's something, you know, you need to be aware of if you're a business, if you're a company that has more than 50 employees, because you're going to be required to provide that, my understanding. And it's kind of a big unknown because you really don't know how long it's going to take until you get involved with it and start trying to work through these forms, you know. especially on the premium tax credit. I think I have one client she's a romance novelist that she had to go through the exchange, and so I'm going to be kind of interested to see how that's going to play out, you know.
Wow, wow. So a lot of people have a lot more to do and they don't know that they do.
Well,
And
yeah.
James's comment is, does anyone else feel like the CPA this year are more like a cop?
I know the IRS would love to deputize us, but you know,
It's been heading that way more and more every year, I think.
they're trying to push more of this enforcement onto the poor tax preparers.
That's right.
And
Right.
tax preparers are stressed out because people are coming later and later, and then, or
Yeah.
you know, and more
And they
extended.
have no clue. There is such a big divide between people that do know, the accountants that are trying to do it right, employers that are just finding out about these requirements, and oh my gosh, what a huge job ahead they have
Well, that thing.
collecting all of that information, and employees who just, I don't know what I need to do. My employer's supposed to do it, and my accountant does the tax return. They don't care.
Yeah. Well,
What they do care about is their tax return preparation fees will probably go up this year.
and where they will also care is if they get a premium tax credit and they got more money than they thought they would, they're going to be undelighted, so to speak, about having to owe money or have to give some of that back, which they probably don't have. You know? So
Right.
the whole thing is just kind of a big unknown, and it's kind of like I think I made the analogy. It's like watching this train going around the bend, and you know that after the bend there's like 100 yards of track missing, and you're just kind of waiting for the train wreck to happen, you know.
People to just fall off the track.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of waiting for the train wreck to happen.
Well, it should be interesting this year for sure.
Yeah, it'll be even more interesting next year, I think. Well, with the Supreme Court thing, where, if they were to say that if you went through a federal exchange, you're not eligible for the premium tax credit, which would be, that's kind of the whole issue with the Supreme Court thing, is that if they deem that a federal exchange is not comparable to a state exchange, then you would not be able for a premium tax credit, and you probably wouldn't be able to afford the insurance, which will honk a lot of people off that have just gotten insurance. So it's kind of interesting as to the whole thing's a big dumpster fire as far as I'm concerned.
It's very confusing.
Roaring.
I'm so confused.
Dennis, what did they have to say about private exchanges?
I'm sorry, Larry. Please repeat that.
I wonder. I never heard anything clear about private exchanges. The health.
Well, my understanding is that, say for example, you went to your employer was not offering health insurance, and you go to your say for example you already had individual policies through, say, like other bigger companies, big health insurance companies like, say, maybe Kaiser Permanente, that if you went directly to them, you would not be eligible for a premium tax credit because you didn't go through the exchange.
So the premium tax credit is only available for those that have gone through the exchange.
That's my understanding, that if you go
Directly to the insurance company, but you're paying the full amount.
Yeah,
When you go to you're not getting any kind of credit.
Yeah, so you're kind of taking money out of your own pocket potentially if you say, well, I'm not going to do anything with these stupid exchanges, I'm just going to get my own insurance. Or maybe you were used to getting your own insurance and they say, hey, we'll save you some stress, we'll just convert it over for you. You don't need to do anything.
They need you back.
Great, googly moogly.
Talking about Obamacare.
You know what? Why did I bother to come back? I'm telling you guys, I don't want to hear about Obamacare. Y'all need to live in Massachusetts. We've had Romney Care for like 10 years now. Come on.
Do they have premium tax credits in Massachusetts?
Yeah, we've had a tax penalty for not having health insurance for a long time.
No, I'm talking about premium tax credits where you get part of
Oh
your.
no. It's just that if you don't have it, you have to pay a tax penalty.
There you go.
And it was listed as you will pay a tax penalty on your tax return. So we didn't change the name. Everybody just calls it Obamacare. But it is the ACA, and Romney Care isn't Romney Care in Massachusetts. I'm just being facetious.
Yeah.
Because Romney Care is the foundation of Obamacare, and I don't understand why everybody's freaking out.
James, it is ACA, but people do put it Obamacare. I mean, do call it Obamacare.
Yeah, I try not to use Obamacare because that's kind of a loaded word, you know.
Funny thing, I saw a news station did a thing, and they put reporters on the street, and they said, hey, do you like the ACA, you know? And people are like, oh, love it. Oh, my God, it's great. And then they asked, people about, oh, do you love this Obamacare? I don't like that at all. It's the devil. I'm like, do you know it's the same thing?
Was that Jimmy Kimmel's interviewing or what, people on the street?
Yeah, it's all in the name. So it just, the reason they don't like it because they got that Obama on the front of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I live in Massachusetts, people. Come on. That's all I need to say. I live in Massachusetts.
We only have a couple more minutes left. Is there any other topics anyone wants to talk about or bring up before we leave?
I see you got a lot of bubbles. Is that because you couldn't find snowflakes to put around?
Very good.
I was getting tired of my old frame, and this one reminded me of wintertime, cold, and that's what's happening around here.
Oh, yeah. We're getting ready for some more, I guess.
Yeah, we're getting ready.
I have a question on the if somebody is on QBO Essentials, can they just upgrade to QBO Plus if they want to?
I believe so. They have to pay for it, of course.
Right.
I'm wondering what's the difference in price per month?
Well, I can't answer that because there's wholesale pricing.
Yeah.
There's discounts for, I give my clients discounts because I'm a pro advisor.
Right.
You can go to the account. If you go to the gear button and you go to your account, and you look at the billing tab, that would be where you would want to go, and it should give you a price there on that tab.
Yeah, and I think we, as pro advisors, I think we get wholesale pricing for the life of the for it. So if you sign them up through you get wholesale price. Yeah, 50% off for the life of for it. So that might be something to think about. As you're selling it.
Right.
I'm not ready to jump on QBO yet. I'm gonna go through and redo all the stupid exams and certifications and stuff to make sure that it works, but not like I keep saying. They're trying to put a lot of different animals in one basket, and those animals are gonna start to fight and claw and eat each other, and it's not gonna be pretty. Not going to be.
In general, Intuit has too many products and too many lines within the products.
Yeah, they're trying to kind of jump on the virtual online bandwagon, the cloud, blah blah blah. But what they don't realize is they're alienating a lot of people, and somebody, I don't know who, is going to come up and they're gonna take away all of those clients that they're pissing off, and they really are pissing.
That very well might happen.
I don't want to be called Zero, in my opinion.
Yeah, but Zero is also a cloud-based product. There are people who really don't want cloud-based products. They want to be able to buy the product and use it until they decide I want to upgrade.
Yeah, but
You know,
Qbox gives you a lot of
making everybody go to a subscription model. Like I was trying to get Outlook Exchange through Microsoft. It doesn't exist anymore. Like I was just gonna buy the product and use it. Doesn't exist anymore. You have to buy the Office 365 per
Yes.
month per person. And I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Well, if you buy the Office 365, you'll get Exchange.
Right, but it's a subscription. It's all going to a subscription model. Like I don't want to subscribe to it. I just want to buy the software.
No, can't do that. They want no. They're going to slap your hand.
Exactly. That I remember the way it used to be. You wanted a product. It was.
My God, Misha, how old are you? You look like you're under 40. You remember the way it used to be.
Oh my God, I really look like I'm under 40. Thank you so much, sweetie.
Anyway,
Yeah, I'm over 40, honey.
I'm not even close to 40.
I am over 40. Not a lot, but I'm over 40.
Well,
Yeah,
you
I see the actual desktop going to a subscription type plan now. That's the way Enterprise is at the moment. And if you look at Pro does have a subscription plan. There is a plan that you can purchase and pay for by month.
That's the way to push people off the desktop, is make it like Enterprise, where you can't use it for 3 years for, you can only be able to, that's my theory, is that they're going to push people to the cloud because they're going to make it painful enough that you can't, get that 3-year benefit.
Yeah.
Or
And the problem,
Mm. Right.
the problem I see with everybody moving to this subscription-based thing, businesses have ups and downs. There are times when you just don't have the money.
That's
And,
right.
you miss a payment and they shut you down. Then you're out of business. Like, come on, that's to me, and a lot of small businesses are going to just crumble because of that. Because, the 1 month your cash flow sucks and you can't afford to make that payment, you have no access to your accounting. You can't invoice, you can't bill, you can't nothing. You can do nothing.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's crazy, and I don't know. There'll
be some answers somewhere.
I know some of these decision makers at these corporations. Somebody needs to sit them down. And I was going to say something, but we're on air, and I will keep that to myself.
Give them a vigorous throat massage.
Yes. A good foot massage with a grater. Yes.
Well, don't you think that's why? Don't you think that's why Qbox is so well received by a lot?
Kind of the counter-revolution.
You have your desktop, but you also have that little bit in the cloud.
Yep, exactly. And the thing about Qbox, I'm going to talk to Chris. They really need to just expand. They need to be able to run any and every product they can in that thing, because if everybody is going to this stupid subscription as service model and trying to put everything in the cloud, it's ridiculous. I'm tired of paying subscriptions for stuff. I want to be able to just buy it and own it and it be mine, and I can do whatever the hell I want with it.
Just think of the situation of a company that's going to go out of business.
Mm-hmm.
They really need to keep all of their
records,
records for at least 3 years.
For a certain period of time, yes.
So,
how is that going to work? Right, exactly. Well, you run your reports and...
God forbid you ever get audited and you say, well, geez, I can't provide records.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't pay for this month, so I can't get you that information. Yeah, I'm going to tell that to the IRS. Yeah, okay. And you're going to be like, oh, no problem, honey. That's okay. We don't need that. Really? Yeah.
More likely, we'll just assume the worst. We'll figure it out.
It's like they're seeing dollar signs on a monthly subscription, and people are paying this monthly fee, which is this constant money as opposed to a lump sum, every couple of years. But they're not looking at the full picture of who's buying this stuff and what they need, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway, they'll do what they got to do until, like I said, they'll do what they do until they shoot themselves in the foot and then they fall down and bust their face.
Oh, well, I hope you have a good weekend, Misha.
No, we have another snowstorm. It's been snowing. It snowed last night a little bit. It's been snowing all day today. It's going to snow tonight into tomorrow, and then we have another one, a pretty good one, coming on Sunday. So I think we got over 2.5 feet in Stoughton, in the town that I live in, and
that's why I moved from upstate New York to Southern California.
yeah, at least we have water. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's true. We don't have water, but
exactly. But no, yeah, it was bad. One time, the town over from us got they got over 3 feet. It was ridiculous. And so the towns are now starting to move, like literally remove the snow and stuff like that. So, but
Did I ever tell you my snow horror story? I was working downtown Seattle. I left at 3 o'clock. I got home at 11 o'clock at night. And on the way, when I got to the park and ride, I got in and opened my car, started the engine, got out to clean the windshield, and the door locked. So here I am.
In the snowstorm.
And I'd left my warm gloves on the bus, too, and so I didn't have any gloves. Fortunately, I sort of know how I am, so I kind of protected myself against my stupidity, and I had an extra key in my wallet.
Oh, that's fun.
I do that.
I would have been having to decide, well, should I break my window or should I wait for someone else to break and steal my car? You know? I hate snow. I absolutely can't stand it.
I don't mind it. It looks pretty when it's fallen, but then once you have to actually go out and shovel it and move
So
it.
when it's snowing and stormy out there, that's when I'm very grateful I have virtual clients. And some of my clients that I go see become virtual clients at that point, too.
Well,
That's our option today. You get to see me on the computer. In person is not happening.
I know. I'm actually liking I'm liking that model, Gina. I'm moving more towards working remotely. If you want to see me and have a conversation with me like this, we can do Hangouts if you have a webcam.
Yep.
But the whole traveling and trying to find parking, especially in the Boston area. Like last night I had to go to a client to drop off paperwork. I could not find a place to stop on his street because Boston was not plowed.
Right.
And I'm like, and then I got stuck between two snowbanks, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's terrible.
Yeah. So it's
up and dropping off documents and forever. You have QBox and the file sharing.
Yeah, this one person doesn't do that.
No, they're not scanners.
He's one of those. I don't want people seeing my stuff. Yeah, you know how they can reach in and
like
take
Sarah did. Look, there's a button on it. It has my name. That's all you have to do. Scan it, scan it, scan it.
I know, right? I know. But I'm eventually gonna get him on QBO and see how he likes that because I think it's gonna help him a lot. I just gotta work my way. I might end up having to bite the bullet and pay for the subscription and just eat that up. That way he gets it. He can do what he needs to do. It makes my life easier.
Well, when I get my tax clients, I'll make it very clear as to how I work with, portals. And I say, some people hate it and some people love it, but I tell them up front the way I work so there's no confusion. And some people say, no, I think I prefer somebody that I can see face to face, or I can go to their office. And I say, well, and some people say, well, it's great. It's good for me because I don't have to, spend my time driving to your office or, the whole thing. So it kind of depends on. So you want the kind of clients that, accept the way you work.
That's true. That's true. But one of the things that I have found that helps is I have a travel charge. So if you want to do virtual, you eliminate that travel charge, and people like that.
Yeah.
Oh, they do. Yes, you're right.
So.
But my next thing is to find an actual really good portal, so that people will just all my clients can sign in. Especially my tax clients sign in, fill out the fill out their information in there, and it comes to me, and they don't have to do any paper or anything. That's my next.
Have you
That's
looked at
my
Smart?
next
You looked at
research.
SmartVault? You looked
Huh?
at Smart? Have you looked at SmartVault?
I looked at. I've been using the free, and I didn't like it as much. But maybe they've changed a lot since then. But I'm like,
Well,
I like QBox for
QBox
for file
person.
sharing. But I'm I want a true portal just for my clients. They sign in.
I've got it through my website, CPA Site Solutions, and so it's not as, up to date as it could be.
Right.
But it works well, and people are used to using it, so I'm sticking with it because I don't want to introduce, like SmartVault to them when when the portal is working as well as it is. So.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Look at ShareFile. Look at ShareFile. It's a little bit expensive, but it gives you that portal option.
It depends on how many people you have about ShareFile. Because I was on ShareFile, and it turned out it was the one I was on was $99 a month. But when I called them and I said, "Hey, I'm just putting like 4 files out there every month. What's this?" And they lowered me down to the $30 a month one. So.
Yeah. Again, I'm trying to find the best way to work it where.
Right. The balance between how much you're going to pay and
exactly, because I'm not. I don't want to. If it's going to be I'm basically working to pay the cost of the portal, then that doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
And James says Google Drives are free. Yes, it is, but our problem is security.
Yeah,
I don't like Google Drive.
I wouldn't put any confidential information in the Google Drive.
Yeah, and I'm finding that Dropbox is not as secure as I think it is.
No.
And if you put Dropbox on your cell phone, it will sync everything and put it out there for God knows who. So, and God forbid you have some dirty pictures on your phone. Those are all over the place. I got a client of mine.
We did
client of mine.
On your phone.
It synced her phone, and all of her pictures came into my folder, her tax folder. I'm like, what is all these pictures? So I'm just like, you know what? Let's not. So I'm just going to use Box.com for my actual file sharing, and Dropbox for my bookkeeping clients, so we can do our QuickBooks and stuff and certain documents. Other than that, I'm done with Dropbox.
Yeah.
I would use QBox. That's where I think I'm going to go.
Yeah.
Yes, and let me know if you want. I can send you my link.
No, I got your link. I got Sarah's link. I got everybody's link.
Well, we are way over time.
Gotta go.
No, remember you changed it to an hour and a half? Remember we said that? We were going to do 90 minutes from now on?
Right, Misha.
We're going to end for the week, and we will see you next week. Everyone stay safe that are in snowstorms or rainstorms or whatever, and have a great weekend.
Okay.
All right, have a good
Have a
one.
great
Bye,
weekend,
everybody.
everyone.
Well,
Go Seahawks.
great.
Hey,